Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this year's Donor Appreciation and Star Hanging Ceremony. Once again, we are virtual because we're not quite finished with this pandemic, but we're getting very close, and I'm hoping and praying that we're going to be able to invite all of you into our facility this year a little bit later so that you're able to see your stars with your own eyes, and we're hoping that this virtual presentation suffices until then, because we really want to express our our extreme gratitude for what you have done. You know, we do this because we have our nonprofit of the Angels Watch, which, because of your generous donations, we have never had to turn away anyone from our Angels Paws service due to a financial hardship. That is amazing. In 11 years, because of the generosity of people like you who had some little furry friend tugging at your heartstrings in such a way that it motivated you and inspired you to remember us during your giving. And we are just so grateful. So once a year, we want to come together and honor you and celebrate the life of that amazing pet who inspired you in that way. You know, this year I wanted to use as our theme a Winnie the Pooh quote that I absolutely love. And that is, "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you'll ever know." I think that is such a beautiful message about this ceremony that recognizes that the pet or the person who inspired you to donate to the Angels Watch Fund is more loved than they can possibly ever know. And we just want to keep that spirit alive by allowing us once a year to celebrate that beautiful bond that you shared with that amazing pet. So, why do you support Angels Watch? We've just captured a few of the quotes that some of you have given us over this last year about why you do it, why you give to Angels Watch. Your service helped us escort our beloved pets with comfort and grace as they departed this earth. For that, we will always be grateful. A Houck family. Maureen Heekin has absolutely donated every year on behalf of her beloved babies for our mission, and we are so appreciative. Gratitude for the services and care we were so blessed to receive, and desire to help other families seek this care. Fostering the responsible and loving spirit of Angels Watch, Nancy Stevens. We appreciate your donation and your beautiful words of why you do it. It's a way to directly honor my dog, Amos. I routinely contribute to animal causes I believe in and want others to be able to use the services when needed for their pets. Thank you, Linda Albert. My beloved Max had a plan for me. Oh, yes, he did, Laurie. I truly believe that. I do too. I have been so touched by so many of the people involved since Max led me to you. Lori May, thank you. I know how painful it is to lose a pet. I also know how much nicer it is to say goodbye in your own home. It brings me comfort to know that I'm helping others have the ability to do this too. Thank you, Jennifer Albrecht. Thank you for all of your beautiful sentiments that all of you have given to us over this past year, and the wonderful contributions that you've made to allow us to make a big difference in the lives of many. In addition to individuals who have reached out and donated to us this year, we kicked off the year in January of 2021, with the General Electric Credit Union surprising us with a great big check. They brought us $2,000 to kick off the year right and to put 2020 in the rearview mirror and hope that 2021 would be so much better. And we appreciate the General Electric Credit Union so much for giving us that kickstart into this year. And Lucky Dog Grill, Jim and Diane, who are the owners there in Mason, year after year put up a angel tree with our name, and it has little ornaments on there that people can pull off and see what we want, what's on our wish list. And they collect those during the holiday season, and then they deliver them to us. And what you see on the table next to them is that contribution, including some cash donations as well. So Jim and Diane, we so appreciate that you do this for us and acknowledge us year after year. And we appreciate the fact that these corporate sponsors are getting the idea that they can reach more pet parents and even let them know we exist, so that if they have a need for their pet, that they're aware that Angel's Paws is there to help in a very special way. And then we have some individuals who just really go all out. So Joel Altman reached out to me and he said, Tammy, I'm an author of children's books. And if you would be interested, I would help you write a children's book. And together, he and I have authored a book called Gaining Wings, and that's going to be coming out later this year. But additionally, Joel has a very special big birthday coming up in July. And for his own birthday present, he wrapped his car and he wrapped it with Angel's Watch and the Military and Police Dog Fund. You see, um, Joel had a very, very special partner named Kurt. And Kurt came through our service after he was retired and at the end of his life, and we helped Kurt. Kurt was the dog that made me realize, oh my goodness, we have all of these hero dogs who take care of us. And I would love for us to have a bucket inside of our Angels Watch Fund, the Military and Police Dog Fund, that can help them. So while Kurt didn't get to be the beneficiary of that, Montse Koo was the first beneficiary of that, and the Military and Police Dog Fund was born. So Joel has taken it a step further and he has wrapped his car that he drives every day and tells the world about Angel's Watch and the Military and Police Dog Fund. And that was his birthday present to himself. Unbelievable. So thank you, Joel, for all you do to spread the word about this amazing service that we have, and for helping us really give a very beautiful, delicate message to children about how their pets can gain wings. We've also had some very special clients and families of clients who have reached back beyond the Rainbow Bridge themselves after they've passed and helped by putting Angel's Watch in their obituary as being the charity of choice if people wanted to acknowledge the passing of this beloved family member, that they would donate to Angel's Watch. And two of those who gave us permission to share during this ceremony were Betty Gilbert. And Betty Gilbert was a farm girl. She was raised on a farm. She was the oldest of 13, and she loved animals. She absolutely loved them. And she would visit with her daughter, and her daughter's cat would always sit on her lap. And she'd always have a smile as big as Texas when she was in the long-term care facility at the end, when they would bring a therapy pet by to visit. So please know that if you are a therapy dog family, and you get out there, that you are making a huge difference in the lives of the residents there who are animal lovers and can't have their own animal there. So Betty Gilbert was one of those people. By the way, I have a spiritual sign of a little airplane showing up overhead whenever there's something significant going on. It is absolutely completely predictable. Well, Betty and I share something in common because when she was a farm girl, every time an airplane would come by, she would run over and take a look up so that she could catch a glimpse of that. And then later, as an adult, she went to work for a company that built airplanes and became a pilot herself. So she's quite special in that spiritual realm for me as well because of that airplane connection. And it was lovely that her family acknowledged us. So Neil DiTillo, I met him in 2014 with his amazing dog Vito. He and his lovely, lovely wife, Sandy, are amazing pet parents, and they totally, totally love their pets as children. And unfortunately, Neil passed away suddenly in March of this year, and his family asked that donations be given to Angels Watch in his honor. And we are just so touched by that, and we appreciate that so, so much. And Neil was quite a character, and I know he and Vito are together in heaven, absolutely pain free and enjoying each other's company, and knowing that the reunion will happen when Sandy and the rest of his family's work here on earth is done. They will be together again. And in the meanwhile, he's really good, and so is Vito. So, who are all of these donations helping? Well, let me tell you a little bit about Cletus. And Cletus is Amy's dog, and I just wanted to read a little bit about. We asked some questions like, "What is the best thing about the care that you received from Angel's Paws?" And she said Cletus was 10 years old and had something going on with his hips. I researched the symptoms and it looked like it was an ALS version for dogs. We knew we didn't want him to suffer and sought out the best care where Cletus could be at home with his family. I found Angel's Paws in the reviews and knew that this was the meaningful goodbye that we wanted for our furry family member. Dr. Kate was wonderful with all of us, especially my 13-year-old daughter and 16-year-old son. They got to have closure through a peaceful goodbye at our home. But in her case, their emergency savings ran out when she was laid off during the pandemic. And while Cletus was so incredibly important, their money had gone to paying for rent. So they were incredibly grateful by your donations that it was you who allowed Cletus to have an amazing send off that he deserved so, so much. So Amy happens to volunteer for the WTF Nation radio station, which is a national radio station helping to connect veterans with information and resources. And she graciously got us a spot on the show so that we were able to share the word about Angels Watch. So Joel, who I was talking about a few minutes ago, and myself went on this radio show. It's a hoot. You should listen to it. I think we have it on our website. So find it and check it out. But Amy gave back. She paid it forward by helping to really get the word out about Angels Watch by allowing us to be on her radio show. So this is the connection and the link. So it is proof. We do have it on our website, so you can check it out and listen to it. So who else have you helped? Well, this little pumpkin, his name is Millie, and Millie was the light and of her family's life, and she just caused them to laugh and have so much fun. But through financial hardship, if it weren't for you and your donations, this beautiful, precious face wouldn't have been able to have the absolutely beautiful transition that she was able to have to heaven. And who is this guy, Tyson? Tyson was adorable because he actually adopted their human children. He thought he was the parent and they were his kids. He was their protector, he watched after them. He absolutely took his job so seriously. So, for his family to be able to allow him to be at home where he was the protector was so, so special. And your donations allowed that to happen. And Suede was first thought to be a service dog, was being trained in the women's prison to be a service dog. But lo and behold, Suede was not meant for that work. But Suede was meant to be an incredible, loving family member to her family. And Suede absolutely had an amazing, amazing goodbye with her family. Thanks to you. You know, this year, your donations helped 83 pets. And by tradition, I always want to share, what does 83 pets look like? Or what does that number look like? I mean, that sounds like a pretty significant, substantial number. But just like little Cletus here, there were 82 other pets who were helped by your donations. So let's just take a look at what 83 looks like. It is a lot. Your donations help all of these families and all of these pets who are just experiencing a financial hardship during this period where they might not be able to do this for their pet. They were able to because of you. So, on behalf of all of them, and on behalf of the entire staff of Angels Paws and all of the volunteers, we thank you. So, what you're going to be seeing in the ceremony that follows here is when a donation is made, the first thing that happens is you get a star. We ask you to submit a picture of your beloved pet or person, and we create their star. And then once a year, we hang those stars. And you were able to come in the early years during the pandemic. We had to hang them virtually, and that's what you're going to be seeing today. We want to be able to do something a little different next year, hopefully, so that we can get you actively involved in hanging your stars again. But everyone does have an opportunity for a star, and you'll hear a chime when the pet's star is shown, because we believe, just like in the movie where It's a Wonderful Life, where a bell rings every time an angel gets their wings, that's how we feel about your beloved pets. And so every time we have a donation on behalf of your pet, they will either receive a star, or if you're a repeat donor, then they will receive sparkle on their star. And every year we have amazing volunteers who come in and sparkle, add the additional sparkle for the year for you. So you'll be seeing that in the presentation as well. And those will be hung, those stars are hung in our chapels. We have the Rainbow Room Chapel, and our walls were starting to get a little bit full. So we have grown this year, and we've added a second crematory. And when we added the second crematory, we needed an extra chapel. So we have a second chapel that we now call the Garden Chapel. and this is still the Rainbow Chapel. The Garden Chapel, and this is Amy. Amy, by the way, was the artist for both the Rainbow Chapel and the Garden Chapel. Amy Johnson, she is incredible and she has done a beautiful job. But as you see some of the stars being hung today in this presentation, some of them will be hung in the Garden Chapel and some will be hung in the Rainbow Chapel. For more substantial donations, $500 and up, we created the Garden of Unconditional Love. And for a $500 donation, for example, there is a brick that can be personalized and put on our rainbow walk that goes out in front. And then we have pavers that are also personalized for $1,000, and $2,500 donation for will allow you to have a tree named with a special plaque, and $3,500 is a bench. So we have these more substantial donations out in the garden of Unconditional Love, but we felt a little bit victim of the pandemic, just as everyone does, in terms of shipping and getting materials. So our items, not all of them were in by today. So we are going to have a very special Garden of Unconditional Love dedication of all of those elements for those special donors on June 30th. It will be virtual, but it will be available in a link, and we will send it out to everyone, whether you're a donor in the Garden of Unconditional Love or you just want to see the amazing donations that were given to Angels Watch at that level. So we thank you. We thank you so much, and be looking for that then on June 30th. And by the way, if you notice that the garden has a big step up in quality this year, Jen Segrist has been our amazing landscaper. And if you want some information on her, she's incredible. But she's a client and she lost a beloved pet last year. Anyway, she's done amazing things with our garden this year. So I am looking forward to when you can come out personally and take a look at that yourselves. So back to our theme of Winnie the Pooh, that you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you'll ever know. Unfortunately, this year, I personally lost two of my babies, actually my last two furry babies. I still do have my African gray parrot, but my Blossom, I lost her in February of this year, and my Carson I just lost just a few weeks ago. So very, very heartfelt sympathies sent out to each and every one of you. When I lose a pet of my own, it just brings back the very fresh hurt that I know all of you know all too well. So my condolences to all of you as well. And now let's take a look at all of those beautiful, special, amazing pets that inspired you to donate to Angels Watch this year. Thank you so much, and I'll come back with a few closing words at the end. if you're like me, that is very, very touching to see all of those beautiful, beautiful faces that have touched each of your lives, each of our lives. Those babies told us what we've been talking about all evening, which is you are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, you are smarter than you think, and you are more loved than you'll ever know. They provided us with unconditional love. And for that, we thank them. And we at Angels Pause and Angels Watch thank you once again for your amazing generosity on behalf of them, because we've been able to help so many families this year because of you and your support. So we greatly appreciate that. I wanted to let you know that if you do want to relocate your star from the Rainbow Chapel into the Garden Chapel, because we do have a little bit more room now. If you want if some of your pets have gotten separated because they were landlocked in the Rainbow Chapel, we can make that move. So I'm going to give you some contact information here. You can reach out to Heather and at Heather at angelspaws.com and let her know, and she can make that happen. So if you'd like for your family to be together, I want to thank Heather for her masterminding of this virtual ceremony. She's got skills, and she is the one who orchestrates this and makes this happen and allows us to not miss a year of honoring you and your pets for the generosity that you have given to Angels Pause, Angels Watch, and all of the recipients who we've been able to touch because of you. So, Heather, I appreciate you more than words can ever express. And I will say that Heather is pictured here with her beloved Alexa, who she lost just this February. So, our hearts are with each and every one of you who have gone through pet loss, and we know the struggle. I want to mention that we do have a free pet loss support group that is headed up by our amazing volunteer, Anne Reevy. So if you're interested in coming to that, we're still doing it via Zoom. So just give me or Heather a call or an email, and we will give you the details so that you can hook up with that, because we know the devastation that pet loss brings. We know the heartache, and we know that in community we can, you know, get through this together. So please, if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to us. And I wanted to mention we will also be sending out a survey about the ceremony, because we're always interested in your feedback on how we can do things even better. And I just want to thank you on behalf again of Angels Pause and Angels Watch for everything that you've done for us. Thank you. And thank you for joining the ceremony.